when things don't go as planned, despite you putting in your heart and soul and all your effort and energy, it's so easy to give up hope. Do not give up hope. Today is all about trusting the roadmap of your desires. So let's get started.
Welcome to the I'm Perfectly Divine podcast, a place where the strong, sensitive, spiritual seeker to recognize the perfection of your human journey as if the emotional and spiritual worlds through proven and grounded frameworks that support you to live in the wholeness you already are. For over the past 2 decades, I have supported people from all around the world, as well as Fortune 500 companies, to dissolve the divisions within them and live with greater empowerment and love. This podcast is an exploration of the paradoxes that befuddle us as we live our lives being both human and divine. Together, you and I, along with other experts, will navigate integrating psychology and spirituality, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the darkness and the light, to create greater sacred union from within. I believe through your remembering that you are innately divine, that you will allow yourself to more openly shine. So let's get to it, because your unique light is needed more than ever.
Welcome back, beautiful souls. I am so excited to share with you today's episode all about how to trust in the roadmap of your desires. And this can be a challenging thing to do when we find ourselves hitting our head against a wall, trying to make things happen towards our desires. And it feels like we experience setback after setback. And then you put your heart and soul into something and you just feel heartbreak. And so I really want to support you today not to give up hope, because what I know is that your desires are a roadmap to you living a life that fulfills you. And I know when you're going for your desires, you're trying to make your desires a reality and it's not happening. It feels like it's a path to pain. And so there's a difference between how we are walking this roadmap, whether it's coming from our ego and fears or our expansiveness and love, and how easy it can be to shut down when we're not getting the outcomes that we thought we would. Now, the reason why your desires are a roadmap for you and that they are coming from love is because your desires are your highest self and the universe coming together to share with your human self your essence, what is possible and very probable for you if we stay the course, if we stay the course to the roadmap of our desires. Because what that does is that it will bring you to this place of knowing within your heart and within your being. And your desires are always leading you, always, to more love in your life. And you can have all the love that you desire from life. Life is setting us up to be and experience that expansiveness of love. So whatever it is that you desire, whether it's to feel more love from within, whether it's to feel love with a partner, love in expressing your purpose, deeper love and connection with friendships and relationships, that love, all of that love is meant for you. It's meant for you. And your heart has called out to you when you experience a desire. It's calling out to you with a longing to receive even more love in your life and the gift of expansiveness of love in your life. And this is such a gift. It's such a gift that your heart can feel this. Now, if you're like me and like others that I've worked with, a part of your heart will experience this, or your heart will feel this for part of the time. And then the fears come up, your ego comes up, it starts to kick in, right? The ego is doing this with fear. It's kicking in fear and doubt and all the reasons why your desires and your roadmap is ridiculous. It's doing that. It's trying to confuse you as a form of protection from further harm. And you are the only person that can get to the point that says, thanks, ego. I get what you're trying to do. I know you are trying to protect me from further harm, but this contracted state that is required from your protection doesn't serve me in the long term. You're the only one that can say this. And so what the ego does is it's sharing with you these past disappointments, and they build up. And your ego uses this past to make your desires feel unsafe, feel like a fantasy that you will never have, or worse of all, that we get to that hopeless state. But here's the thing, and we really want to tune into that, is that we all experience setbacks, and setbacks are so normal. And we don't see this because our life is so visual now with social media, and we're seeing people's experiences of them having their wins and their victories, which are beautiful. But we don't get the backstory of what led them there. And so here's some statistics just to help us really take in that we're all experiencing setbacks. Setbacks are such a normative part of our growth and human experience. So according to the American Psychological Association, around 70% of people will face setbacks in their careers. We've all heard the statistic that about half of marriages fail, and perhaps even more long-term relationships fail. 40% of people who start college don't finish. And while I don't have a stat on this, I believe every single human being has experienced some form of heartbreak in their lives. We've all had these setbacks. So you are not alone. And I know I don't know your specifics. I know there's heartbreak right now. People have experienced major loss or major challenges. And I don't want you to feel hopeless through them, ever. Because I know that in these unimaginable circumstances you are in, is that there is going to be revealed to you a way forward. And oftentimes it's that breadcrumb, it's that little step. And the ego mind is the one that wants to have, like, lay out the full path. And that's not how we grow. It's not how we're able to live our lives, because think about it. When we have this whole path laid out, it's like there's no thinking. You just follow the path, and you're supposed to get from A to Z. And you just boom, 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 boom. And you follow orders. Well, you tell me, is that going to lead you to trusting yourself? Is that going to lead you to knowing your power? Is that going to lead you to remembering your love despite the heartache? No, you'll be taking a path that's been prescribed, and you'll say, well, the path led me there, rather than know yourself, know all the love and strength and resilience that is within you. And so your setbacks help you to step back and reevaluate. I've always shared this with when I teach the language, the loving language of our empowered emotions, and how when we stop fighting our negative feelings, how sadness can be such a gift to allow ourselves to step back. And from there, we can regroup and gather wisdom and insight from that. Otherwise, if we go through a setback and we keep pushing ourselves forward, we probably are going to not learn our inner guidance and how it wants us to navigate this. We won't build up that inner resilience, and then we find ourselves tripping over ourselves over and over again with the same mistakes, which I don't want for you. Now, I got great news because a meta-analysis published in a psychological bulletin suggested that 60 to 70% of people who face significant failure or trauma report a degree, at least, of post-traumatic growth. And the University of Pennsylvania's Positive Psychology Center links frequent setbacks with higher resilience. So yeah, the more setbacks you have, the more resilient you become, especially when you are supported. So the way in which we step back from a setback is crucial to learn. It's a skill, and I want you to be able to develop this so you can remain on your roadmap to your desires. So I really want you to get this rather than do what I have done in the past, which is I don't get the outcome I want. I start beating myself up and I feel ashamed for not being able to receive my desired outcome. My ego makes a story based on the past that reiterates the shame that I feel inside. So stepping back with my ego was like this internal takedown that I would experience with all these lists of examples from my past of why I wasn't enough to ever receive my desires. So whether your roadmap is guiding you to receive more love, abundance, health, laughter, success, whatever it is, I wanted to give you these steps on how to step back from a perspective of love instead, because I know how painful it can be when the ego takes over. And what I have found is that when I take this step back, you still want to step back, slow yourself down, because this is how you will get into your inner knowingness and power. And this is when life will unfold for you in beautifully unexpected ways that will surprise you, that will provide you with grace and with an expansiveness in your heart that we all desire to experience. So again, well, let's just begin. Step one, we're going to really take in that setbacks are a natural part of life. So regardless of what your ego wants to say to you, that you've somehow messed this up, that it's because of you, you are having this setback. And it's simply just a normative part of your human experience of remembering your truth, your power, and as you'll hear me say in this podcast, your divinity, because the divinity is that despite what is happening in the external, I remember the truth of who I am. Now, we are in our human experience, we're going to have sadness and grief for when we give it our all and things don't turn out right, and that's okay. But the more we can say, look, this is just part of the journey. I am not taking this personally, that there's some piece about me that is the cause that continues to create the setback. There's nothing internally wrong with you, broken with you. And the more you can remember that, the more you allow yourself the grace to grow. Which leads me to step number 2 is, what is your ego story about you regarding this setback? So get specific on how your ego is shaming you. Michelle, why would I want to do that? Well, you want to do that because sometimes looking at this in the short term, not sometimes, always, I will tell you this, looking at this in the short term may be painful, but in the long term, it's going to set you up to be more in alignment with your desires roadmap for you, because we're not going to be in alignment with our desires roadmap if we are believing in our shame. So you want to face it. Otherwise, even though it might have some pain in the short term, If we forego looking at this, we're causing more pain in the long term because the shame is running you. So usually some version that this thing you desire, your ego will say it will never happen for you because of X. What is X? It's because of some shame theme that your ego constantly reiterates about you. So in my 20s, I wanted to get married. I was engaged. I was on my path to having my heart's desires. The only problem is that, yes, it would have checked the box of getting married. I wanted to get married, but really what I wanted, what my heart wanted, was a soulful, lasting love where each partner was seen and celebrated and lifted up. And that was not my experience when I was engaged. And so I broke off the engagement. And the ego is right there telling me that I will never find the love that I've dreamt of. Even though I poured my heart and soul into that relationship, even though wedding venues were already, there was deposits down, even though people knew we were going to get married, the truth was, this was not the right love, the right fit for me. And so the ego wants to come in and say, yeah, that happily ever after thing, that's not for real. That's fairy tales. Grow up. And it wanted to just dial in that sense that who I am is unlovable. So what is it for you? What is your ego saying? You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You're unlovable. Whatever it is, go to it. Because then we can go to step number 3. And step number 3, we're going to dial into your ego's path. And we're going to get really real with ourselves. What will your life be like if you allow your ego's lie to take over? What will your life be like if you allow your ego's lie to take over? What it's going to look like, so you can take a moment to write that down, but what it's going to look like is you settle. You stop moving towards your dream. You contract, you protect. And what we really want to understand is that you guarantee you do not get your heart's, your soul's desires, what your soul is calling you to receive from life. You are guaranteeing that you won't get it. And play out what that life would feel like for you. And I want you to feel it. So in my example, if I believed in that, I either wouldn't have gotten married, which is something that my heart desired, which was really a soulful partnership, someone that we would be by one another's side. And so I wouldn't have gotten married, or I would have gotten married and settled and said, that type of love is impossible. And let me tell you, there were plenty of people agreeing with my ego, telling me that that love isn't possible. And then what does that feel like to your essence, to your being? If continues to reiterate that shame thing, right? For the rest of your life, until there's enough pain that you're willing to address it again, right? But if I would have followed my ego's safety plan, then I would have lived a life where I wouldn't have received the love that the universe wanted me to experience in relationships. So whatever is on your desire roadmap, it's because the universe wants you to experience the expansiveness of it. So step number 4, how can you reclaim what your ego is trying to shame? How can you reclaim what your ego is trying to shame? My ego said, here's the proof. Here's all the past relationship failures, all the times you couldn't get a date. Here's all the reasons why you are unlovable. And this is your ego's bait. Are you going to take the bait? No. When we're doing this, we're stepping back from love. We see the ego's bait. We see how it's tried to run our lives. We see the story and what happens if we play out our ego story and what our life is going to feel like. So this is the time. You are not taking the ego's bait. You're not going to. It's just bait. And this is how we grow beyond our ego. Okay. So when I said that you are the only one that can give yourself this, that you can say to your ego, thank you for trying to protect me. I don't need it anymore. This is how we do it. We see the bait and we say, I know you're trying to protect me. No, thank you. I don't need that. I don't need that level of protection. And instead, you are going to deepen into the reasons why you are the opposite of how your ego is trying to shame you. So you're going to claim that you're good enough, you're smart enough, or you are lovable, or whatever the way you're being shamed, you're claiming the opposite. So remember, my ego's right there telling me all the reasons with all these past experiences to prove why I'm unlovable. And I came back with force, with anger. And I said, enough of the BS. Enough. I know I am lovable. And here's why. I'm not perfect, but I know the love that's within me and the love that I have to offer another. And it's more than enough. And that's where you're going to be asked in step 4 is to dial into the knowing of your truth, the knowing beyond the ego lies. This is how we start to divorce ourselves from our ego fears. Step number 5. How can you use not getting what you desire in this moment, not having the outcome that you want, as actually a step towards you getting what you want? So your ego says, you're not getting what you want. Are you crazy? And you're saying, well, actually, this is proof. Me not getting what I want is the setup to me, and the next step to me actually getting what you want. So how can you see the truth that the universe is guiding you to have the highest and truest expression of what you desire? This reminds me of, I believe her name is Jamie Kerm-Lema, and her selling her cosmetic company when she kept experiencing failure after failure after failure, and how it was guiding her to the fullest expression of what she desired and impact that she desired to create. So for me, the reason why this setback was proof for me that I'm on the right path to my desire is because I was engaged to the wrong person. I was engaged to someone where I would not be able to live happily ever after with him. And so whenever there is a challenge, and I saw this challenge in our relationship, it was like I was banging my head against a wall. I was banging my head against a wall trying to be heard. So to have the type of relationship that my heart desired, I would be with someone who could receive my feelings and we could work together to resolve challenges and really come from this place of love rather than defensiveness and closing ourselves off and all those things that we do. And so that wasn't going to happen with this person. And so that is actually proof that I'm on the right path, because that was the dead end. And my soul did not want me to experience life stopping there, and love and the type of love that I wanted stopping there. So what is it for you? How is not getting what you desire actually reconfiguring the path for you so that you get back on track, so that you get more in alignment with the fullest expression of what you desire? And then the last step is to live from your knowingness. And this is where you tell your ego to F off and you tell other people's limitations to F off, not verbally, internally. You're saying this because that's their limitations. That's how they choose to live their life. And they have their own stories about what is or isn't possible, because they're on their own human journey and they've got to go through their own process of remembering their truth. So you were not given a vision for no reason. Your vision is your path forward, and you want to live your life with love for yourself and others and life. And so we can reinforce this knowingness by integrating mind, body, spirit, emotion, and action. So let me discuss each of these. Mind, things that you want to be doing as often as possible is reinforcing your belief in yourself. So the list of reclaiming what your ego shamed, you want to keep going back to that. You want to keep going back to that felt sense of knowing this is the truth of who you are. You can also do manifestation and visualization work. You can turn into podcasts like this that help you remember. You want your mind being in a place that it's working for you rather than against you. Body, move your body. It helps move energy, especially stuck energy. So you want to walk, dance, exercise, just allow yourself, your body, to move. It will help release energy that is stalled and stuck and wants to make you feel blah. You feel blah, move your body. You can just tell yourself, like, hey, I'm just going to walk to my favorite tree. It's a 10-minute walk. And then if you want to keep going after that, you keep going. And if you don't, you honor yourself that you walked for 10 minutes to your favorite tree and you got out and you moved your body. Emotions. The quality of your emotions is the quality of your life. This is a quote from Tony Robbins that I love, because our emotions are there to support us. And if your psychology is not working for you, this is where you really want to be focusing your energy. So I like, if your emotions overall are doing pretty well and you're just experiencing a setback, I like Tony Robbins priming. That's something you can look up online. And it can really help you get into these states when you're feeling down. Now, if you've had your psychology not working for you, this is why we go to therapy, right? Or, of course, I'm biased, but emotional empowerment is the modality that I have used to turn my negative feelings into my greatest ally. So as an emotionally sensitive person, I know what to do when my negative feelings arise. So really being able to utilize your psychology to your benefit. And then action. Doing what you need to do differently based on step 5. So doing what you are avoiding, right? And so for a while, I knew that this relationship wasn't right for me, but I was avoiding the breakup. So what are the things that we are avoiding that we know that we need to do that's actually hard, that our ego says is taking us away from our desires, but actually is going to get you even in greater alignment, and be willing to take that step towards that? What does it look like to own that? And maybe it's a series of small steps, right? then give it 15, 20 minutes, even though you don't feel like doing it, and see what changes as you step forward into your desire roadmap. So please, 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 please honor yourself, that you are someone who wants the best for yourself, that you haven't given up. I know this heartbreak can be difficult. I also know that no one else can give you the life you desire except you. It must come from you. Your soul has this desires as a roadmap that have been uniquely designed as a setup for you to experience more and more love from life. And I know it can feel like just the opposite. And that's the ego that wants to spin you and take you for another round, right? And sometimes the ego wins. So what? So what? You've got the steps to come back to your truth and remembrance. So doubt is a game of the ego to give you, to keep you away from your divinity, to hide your divinity. Grieve your setbacks, your losses, and step back into your truth from love. I know what it's like to curse our roadmaps, to say, how did I ever get stuck with this roadmap? But it doesn't get us anywhere. And it's just us going into a mode where we're not recognizing our power. You were designed to expand the love that you are and to receive by learning how to give to yourself first the love that you desire to experience in life. And you are more than capable. You being here is a sign, is evidence of your abilities and the power that love has within you. So I'm so honored that we are together. Please share this episode to someone who may need this when they are feeling hopeless, and be the hope that they need. You remembering your path and believing in your path is inspiration for others. And you inspire me by your willingness to trust in yourself and to continue to build yourself in strength from love, from the modality and skill of learning to love more deeply in all areas of your life. So until next time, know that there's absolutely nothing to fix, just to remember. Remember the love that you innately are. I look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, take care.
I am so honored you have joined me today. If you enjoyed the I'm Perfectly Divine podcast, subscribe so you don't miss any of our power-filled episodes. Also, if you know another who is strong, sensitive, and spiritual and wants to dive deeper into emotions and ancient wisdom so they too can create profound peace and fulfillment from within, please share this podcast. Thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to reconnecting with you soon.